I want to address this topic from a different point of view because all you hear is what mistakes you're doing and that you're not doing this and that and so on. So I don't want you to think about those things as mistakes, but more as inspiration for you and to help you envision this more clearly. I don't know if you noticed, but for a while now there have been so many fitness trends that are just absurd, and they're meant to shock and to grab your attention because that's what sells and brings views. Things like you only need to do low reps or very high reps. There is no such thing as you need to do, only what you want to do. Everything can be replaced and adjusted according to your needs. There is a lot of misinformation going on in the fitness industry. You know that feeling when you go shopping and there are like 20 different brands of the same product and you don't know which one is the best deal for you. That just creates confusion, and it's your job to analyze and decide for yourself what's best. All of you already know the basics that simply just work, yet you still choose to look for the magical solution for fast gains and the new upside down BFR ultra stretch bicep curls. Take me, for example. Why did I never get injured in my whole lifting career and I still managed to build a pretty muscular physique? Because I was lucky enough to realize instinctively that building muscle takes time, and even more important, building tendon resilience takes even longer than that. Back in the day, we didn't have this much good information, so you guys can have a very big head start now. So being patient, giving your tendons and soft tissues time to adapt to the stimulus, not increasing weight when you don't have to, and realizing that it's normal for this process to take a long time will be key for your adherence. So try not to view lifting short term and you will have less pressure on you. Speaking about adherence, next is consistency. It's not enough to just be patient and not do anything. Putting in the effort consistently for months and years will lead to such big changes of your body that you won't even recognize yourself. One of my biggest mistakes when I started lifting was that I would train consistently for 1 year, then I would take a 1 year break for no reason, and I did this a couple of times, slowing down my progress considerably. But when I managed to stay consistent for about 3 years, my progress was much bigger than my entire 8 years of training prior to this. And I wasn't even doing that much work in the gym to begin with. I was basically training 4 times a week with moderate intensity. My program was far from great, but being consistent helped me compensate for that. You don't need to reinvent the wheel and have the perfect program because you cannot outrun your tendon rate of adaptation. And I want to give a shout out to my buddy Bogdan or Bolkdan for teaching me this. Amen. You don't even have to do that much because consistency can mean even training twice a week or once a week. If that's what your schedule allows you to do, that's going to be great. I'm not saying this is the best, but it's still more than nothing. After 1 year of doing this, you will have like 110 more workouts done than just not doing anything. But you gotta do something at least, guys. Try not to fall into the trap of training extremely hard for 2 or 3 months and then having to take 2 or 3 months off for your nervous system to recover. You'll just end up with a burnout. You know what is the biggest contributor to consistency? Having fun and doing the movements that you like, not what someone else says, will make you more eager to want to go to the gym. There are no mandatory exercises. Everything can be replaced or modified. For years, I was so attached emotionally to certain movements that I would fail to open my eyes and try new lifts, and I was training like a robot with no feelings, and I would sometimes even hate what I was doing, but I did it anyway just because someone else said I need to do it. And believe it or not, this has impacted my progress way more than I thought it would, and I'm still recovering from a physique standpoint because I had the wrong view on certain lifts and their importance. For example, an isolation lift or using a machine will not be less important than doing compounds. Doing what everybody does without analyzing and following someone else's views and goals, the age of you must do this and that are over. You are the only one that chooses what you want from your body. In the past, I would say that having a well-balanced physique will be the best, and I still believe that, but now I don't try to force my views on someone. I have no problem if a client tells me, I want to grow bigger shoulders and arms and not so much glutes or calves or whatever. No problem. Forcing progress is what I see many people do, and they just end up plateauing prematurely because they view progressive overload as just adding weight. By the way, check my progressive overload video for more info on this. Try maybe not to increase weight with more than 5% on a lift at once if you're just getting accustomed to lifting, and neither should you max out randomly because you need that mental boost that you get from doing that to keep you going. Your body is not going to be ready for that kind of stuff yet. So keep in mind, it's your body, your goals. These are just my suggestions. Thanks. Bye-bye.